Welcome to the Everybody Just Calm Down, the podcast where we break down the latest drama, hot takes, and everything in between. I'm your host, Aaron.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Danielle.
Oh, he's back, guys, from being a whore.
I'm back. You guys were missed, but I see that you guys did the best you could without me. It was great.
Good. Yeah, we tried.
Really?
We tried. It was touch and go. It was very touch and go.
No, it was
How
great.
was your trip?
My trip was lovely. I came back exhausted, of course. My issue is that on vacation, I go too hard and I never sleep. So, yeah, I almost come back in worse shape, but...
Well,
a vacation from the vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when you say no sleep, what does that look like?
You know, bus, club, another club.
Another bus.
Yes. And, you
I'm
know,
dead.
adult things here and there, you know, things happen.
I know that's right. So you were there from
Friday until we left on Tuesday. Not long enough, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good enough. Yeah, because I think at our big ages, I need to be somewhere long enough where I don't feel bad for having a day where I made a mistake and fell asleep and woke up the next day.
Yes. And then, well, I met so many people I never met some of the people from Canada in my life. And they're all like, how long are you here? I've been here a month. I'm like, well, excuse the fuck out of me, Miss Mama.
Yeah. On the resort, though? On the resort, or like when you were doing excursions?
A little bit of both.
Because if they saying they've been there a month on a resort, they got some coin.
Okay.
But if you meet them on an excursion, you at a hostel.
Yeah. I mean, but some of them did like to have a coin, if you know what I mean, you know.
Oh.
We looked at the partner and the person, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
They're doing both.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. To be kept. Ciao.
Well, if you say you're glowing, sweetie. Let's hope you don't end up pregnant.
Time will tell.
Did it happen? Did it happen what you said hadn't happened in so long?
No, it did not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But that wasn't necessarily my intention anyway. So
What are we doing?
I can't say all that on camera, but
Right.
it was a good time though.
Oh, I bet it was a good time.
Oh, I'm sure. Again, we were here. So cold, rain, snow, children, dogs.
Not dogs. Well, yeah. Oh, Jared, my dog got suspended from school for 2 weeks. He is not allowed to go back to daycare for 2 weeks because he bit one of the people that works there. He's never bit anyone before, but I'm not allowing him to go back because he's never bit anyone before. So, and he's been to multiple daycare. So they're the problem. Sorry.
Has that person worked there before? Was this a new person? Do we know any of them?
They wouldn't, because they have a camera. Right. They do have like the doggy cameras there. And I asked them for the footage. I've yet to get the footage.
You did not get the footage yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, this is ridiculous. But anywho, as you know, we are here to review the lovely ladies of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 14, episode 12. I'm gagged that this season is flying by the way that it is. What are we looking at? We think we're going to have 18 episodes or...
We're on 12, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we still have the international cast trip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that will be another 2 episodes from now, at least, right?
Right. And then that itself is going to be at least another 2 to 3. So maybe 18 is where we might land.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
20, including the reunions, depending on if they do 2 parts.
No, it'll be 21.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills never does a 2-parter.
No, yeah, they're definitely doing 2.
Yeah.
If they can squeeze 3 parts out of Potomac, I mean, which granted, you know, Potomac is giving what it needs to. But as a season as a whole, if they can squeeze 3 parts out of that, then they can definitely do 3 parts for Beverly Hills.
Ciao, Miss Patanka. But so guys, we open the episode up with the girls still being in Augusta. When I tell you I'm so tired, I'm tired of Reba. I don't want to talk about Reba no more.
No.
I don't want to deal with her anymore.
Yeah.
But essentially we open with the ladies packing, getting ready to go back to Beverly Hills. Kyle comes in sweating like a pig. Apparently she just can't stop sweating, even though she took a cold shower. they were there in July, so we can only imagine what that heat is giving.
Right.
And we also know that is an older home, so it's burning up like a mother in there.
Well, she's an older person, so.
Well, I mean, that's I never understood age shaming.
It's shame. I'm just saying, a woman of a particular age also goes through hot flashes.
Hot flash, got it. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I had several last night. I don't even know why.
I cannot. And so Garcelle basically let Sutton know that they were eavesdropping, which confused me because I thought it was very clear in the last episode that they were eavesdropping. Like, if Sutton didn't figure that out, then all right, Sutton, you really off. And unbeknownst to Garcelle, as she's running her mouth, Reba is basically lingering around the corner like a crypt keeper. She just refused to be nice to Garcelle. Like, it's impossible. It's so hard for her. If you pay attention to how she interacts with Kyle, there's a certain level of care and interest. And whenever she shows interest to Garcelle, it is of, you sure are chatty this morning. Like,
that was a little dig.
It was
a little dig.
But I also feel like Garcelle was playing into it. Like, you have to know. She can't be missing. She seems to just kind of be, she's kind of giving, I feel like, what I would give in the sense of, listen, I'm still not going to cuss this old lady out. This is still my mother's friend. I'm going to just have to laugh at/with this lady and keep it pushing.
I also feel like Garcelle like she's almost trying to force Reba into liking her or treating her the same as Kyle. When you already know, if a person already shows you who they are, not only did Reba show you, but Sutton already gave you tea. Let's be real. Sutton gave you tea before you walked through those doors. And then you saw it for yourself because you're a woman of a particular age. You're not stupid. You saw it for yourself and you kind of kept reaching. I thought
Sutton did not give her tea.
I think she did.
But
Sutton did not give her. What is tea? My mother is rude, or is the tea my mother's racist? Because if the tea is my mother's racist, she ain't give her that tea.
No, I don't think so. It was definitely my mother's rude.
My mother's rude, and she's not used to.
No, actually, I even take it back. She didn't even say my mother's rude. My mother's eccentric. That's what Sutton said.
But is it also giving, which I would love this too, is Garcelle also giving, I'm not going to give it to you myself, but these cameras are right here and the whole world is going to see who you are.
Let you see it. That's fair. I can see that. Yeah.
Garcelle married a white man? I don't think so.
That's fair.
No shade. No shade. Yeah, like she married a whole white man.
And Lord knows
and
what
had
his mother...
children of the corn kids.
Yeah,
so
who knows what his mother was like.
Right.
Hey, was he European though? Because that also could make a difference. Was he European?
I don't remember.
Aren't they all? Are all white people European?
No, I mean like there's a white Southern parent, and then there's a white mom from the Heroes of Bastel in France.
Yeah. But I mean,
is he gay or European?
Those two mothers half the time I wanted the same, just in different fashions.
Well, fair. That's fair.
You defending your dog Innocence while he's doing that growling in the background.
He's going through a lot right now. He is going through a lot. Okay. He's never been judged unfairly. He is a black dog in America.
He is. Okay? That's very true.
That's very true.
So he's already judged pretty harshly.
That's fair.
It's a lot of Rebas out here judging him.
Is the school predominantly white?
Yeah, of course it is. And we in Atlanta. Child, there's a lot going on. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, you know, Danielle, black people are not putting their dog in school. Just certain ones.
That's fair. That's fair. That is very fair.
I feel judged, but whatever. And so, by the way, Sutton looks so good in that confessional in the beginning of the episode when she was in that yellow dress. Mm-hmm. Yes, and in her face, she definitely got something.
She got that face pulled back.
She got that face pulled.
Yeah,
she need to do the neck too, but that face is there.
They never do the neck though. They always skimp on the budget on that neck. I don't know why.
They skip the neck and the hands. Well, I don't think you can do anything to your hands.
I don't think you can either. I'm sure there's something. But you can do that neck and wear gloves.
No, I agree. So then we jump to a confessional with Kyle, and Kyle says usually she's happy to go home, but with having such an empty home right now, there's really no rush for her to go home. She's almost like, hey guys, do you want to extend the trip? Again, I think we've said this ad nauseum. We feel extremely bad for Kyle. We hate that she's going through that. Any other thoughts regarding
Stop
that?
dragging it. Because you said it then in Augusta, and then you said it at the end of the episode when shit started going down. Stop bringing up that you lost your husband of almost 30 years. Girl, we get it. He's leaving you, girl. And at the looks of it, you damn sure ain't getting it back.
I have a response to that, but I want to save it to a latter part of the episode when we get into some other stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have my response. For you to be the married woman, I'm kind of glad that you had that response.
What do you mean?
Because you talk about being married all the time. What would happen if you were getting divorced? You talk about your divorce all the time. Never say never.
He's cheaper to keep her. Next question. I don't want to talk about this.
Exactly. Oh, now you don't want to talk about it. Get the hell out of here. So then, basically, towards the end of the scene, essentially, again, here she goes throwing some more shade. I'm going to miss some of you. And, of course, she's not going to miss Avi, and she's not going to miss Garcelle.
Well, yeah, clearly.
And, right, and I kind of feel like even when Jared says, like, oh, what's it? No, Jared did say maybe Garcelle's playing into it. And I did kind of get a little vibe. But I think you're right and you're wrong when you say that Garcelle's playing into it. Garcelle is playing into it, but she's playing into it from the viewpoint of thinking Reba is just a crotchety old curmudgeon type of woman. It's like, no, she don't like black people. That's what you're missing. No. That's what you're missing, sweetie. You think she's just a grouchy old woman. No, sweetie, because look how she's treating Kyle over here now.
Yeah, she has thrown Kyle like one lick of shade since they've been, or at least that we've seen.
Not one.
Yeah.
Not for nothing, she's actually treated Kyle with more respect than she should.
Yeah.
That is such a fact. That is such a fact.
She was like the way that like she almost lit up when Kyle was in the room. Like in general,
she did kind of light up.
When every scene Kyle was in, she was almost refreshed that Kyle was there. When Sutton, she was like, I know Sutton gonna get on my nerves, and then she got Blackie with her. Tired of this.
Oh my God. Danielle,
that's what they
why would you say that?
But that's how I imagine an older white woman in their 80s from Augusta, Georgia is addressing. She's not saying, oh, nice woman. No, the black one. Let's be real. You saying the black one. I don't care what anybody says. You're saying the black one.
I just had to laugh.
Okay. So at the end of this scene, essentially, they are rehashing their conversation that they had. And obviously, they're saying that the conversation was great. And then Sutton says, well, Mom, I love you. And then Reba just says it, so flowingly and easily to what the fuck was that? She was on PTO too long, child. She was on PTO too long, girl.
I was just trying to scratch my head and then it caught like my core.
But it was like a whole moment. He said, like, what the?
Between braid and headphone, I didn't know what was going on.
Hello. But yeah, and so Reba just says it so easily, and it was just good to see. And Sutton got what she needed, and Reba said, "We both can work on it. We can both be a better mother to your daughter, a better daughter to the mother." And that was the ending of that scene. Great. Let's button it up. No more Reba.
No more Reba. Yeah, we're done.
No. I can't take it.
Yeah.
And so then we move over to Bo's house, and Bose is waiting for her cousin to arrive. It'll be the smaller things that I noticed that mean so much to me. I feel like I have a great understanding of how Bose is with the people, like as a boss, or at least how her family is with her being a boss. The way her cousin greeted Nico, I thought that was so cute and sweet, calling him Neeks and stuff like that. Like he's a part of the family, essentially.
Yeah.
Right, he's not the help. He's a part of the family. Exactly. And I thought that was really cute. Bose knows how to make a goddamn drink, y'all.
Now, she was a mixologist in her past life. Now, that's the truth.
Honey, that drink looks so refreshing.
Really
mean, that, and she knows how to serve a snack. She knows how to host. I want to go to her house.
Because you ate that plate up.
Yeah,
you ate that plate up. Yes.
I want to sit in the backyard. I want to have a drink. I want the snack plate.
Yes.
And I want all those things. Exactly.
And just talk with Bose.
Right.
And basically the conversation starts off about them talking about, her wanting to make a baby with Keely, and that she was excited at first, but then now she's kind of nervous. And I can understand that, where you in the throes of love, even though y'all haven't used the L word yet. And you're like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. And then when it starts to get real, and your guys are starting to make appointments, it's like, oh, we serious about this?
Yeah.
No one is going to be perfect in every aspect of their life. Even our Bose, she's not going to be perfect. This is about the second conversation she's had about Keely that's making me like, all right, Bose, don't be that girl.
Don't be delulu.
I'm getting that vibe. Like, is she going to be that girl where she's the Lulu in love but amazing everywhere else? Is she that girl?
That could be the Achilles heel.
Yeah. Achilles heel, Keely.
Ooh. Yeah. Yes.
Her Keely heel, girl. Her Keely heel. Go ahead, Jared.
No, I agree. The more we get into this baby talk, the kind of...
What we gonna say about your child?
I know, but that's because I have.
What we gonna say about your child?
That's because production just entered the home. He's not supposed to be home yet, but.
What you gonna say about your child?
Nothing. My child was guarding me and protecting the household. That's what he was doing.
Sweetie, first of all, I was there last week and he did not bark anytime we walked in the house.
But that's because I treat you like family, just like Bose treats her people. So you're welcome.
Well, what the is Desmond? He walking into his own home.
He's not supposed to be here. I told you that.
The time was not supposed to be. Yeah.
No, it's not the time.
And Zuko apparently knows this.
Yeah, Zuko knows he was at practice. He should not be home until 9:30 p.m.
Oh, please.
But what was I saying? Oh, okay, back to Bose and the baby. Yeah, the more we get into it, the more kind of sideways I'm looking at the whole situation. When she said that she's starting to wonder if they're both thinking that they should pump the brakes, or they're both afraid to say it, that's the vibe I'm getting from all sides. Because it's just crazy that she's preparing herself to go through all of this when they don't have like a real commitment in place. And another thing, and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but the real crazy part to me about this is once she got into all the difficulties with her pregnancy, etc., considering her age, considering her wealth, I just understand why surrogacy isn't the first option. Granted, I'm not a woman. Granted, I don't have any kids, but it just seems like on paper, surrogacy would just make the most sense. That was it.
I thought Daniel was going to jump in. I'll jump in. I could not agree. You paused so long for, girl? I was trying to be sweet. And I just knew you was going to go.
Yeah, I was. So let me just say this. Now, I agree with you, Aaron, when you say, first of all, let me just skip that. Let me go back. I feel bad for Bo's journeys of childbearing that she's gone through. But I do believe that she could be one of those girls who is definitely head over heels and falls in love. Well, not really in love, but falls in lust with someone. And I think that she has the idea. Her sharing the story put a lot in perspective to me. She told us all that to say she's actually missing two things, right? So she experienced loss of a child, and then she also ended up turning around 15 years later, having another child, but then having that child alone. She's a widow, right?
Well, no, it wasn't. She didn't have a baby 15 years later. I think it was like 2 months later. She ended up got pregnant 2 months later.
She got pregnant 2 months later? Are we sure?
Yeah.
I think, and then she lost the husband 15 years later. Isn't that the timeline?
Yeah, she lost the husband. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, right. So in that case, still in all, no one has a child to be alone, right? I mean, obviously people die, things happen, but because she's already experienced such a great loss in the beginning prior to losing her spouse and then raising her daughter together, I think she's just craving and longing to have a child with someone that she thinks she can build up to. But again, to your point, Jared, if she doesn't have the foundation, what are we building?
I couldn't disagree with you more. I actually think that Bose is the type of woman where we think it's so odd. Like, you trying to have a baby with this man and y'all even said the L word and y'all even done all these things that you would need to do to start this journey. That's so odd to us. But the difference is that I don't think Bose is the type of person that feels like she needs to have the nuclear family to have a baby. Because she is such a boss, she could be like, I just need your little sperm, and then I'll be able to have this baby. I would love for you to be here, but if you don't play the game right, or you're not doing what you need to do, at the end of the day, I would love to have another baby. I don't need to have another man. Yes, and so that's why I kind of feel like, say that again, D.
Yes and no, because she's so pressed over Keely specifically. To your point, she actually doesn't need. She has the money, she has the means and everything to have a child on her own.
Which goes to Jared's
point, even about surrogacy.
About the surrogacy, yeah.
But the fact that she wants to have a baby with this specific man shows me that you want to build a family with him. You're not just picking him because you want him to be your baby daddy. No, you're actually trying to build a family.
Well, that's fair, because it's like Jared said, when you are wealthy, even if from my standpoint, well, my viewpoint of what I'm saying is, Keely wouldn't even have to enter the picture. She could have just had she could have just done it the surrogacy way. Okay. I can give you that. But when she speaks about her first pregnancy, she speaks about that she ended up coming down with preeclampsia, which is essentially high blood pressure when you're pregnant. Said it again?
It's terrible. I've had it both times.
Right. I don't think I know any Black woman that has gotten pregnant that did not have preeclampsia. My best friend, each one of her kids, she was bedridden 4 months into her pregnancy. She broke my heart when she talked about losing the baby and just how she's never been able to truly enjoy a pregnancy, because obviously she lost her first pregnancy, and then the second time with Lael, she couldn't enjoy it. She wanted, if something didn't feel right, most likely she was at that doctor banging on that door. And I can understand, not what cracks me up. Whoa. But what taking it a little bit deeper, when I think about someone like Bose with how in control she is of her life, can you imagine the type of ownership she probably took on when she lost that baby? Because I'm so successful. I've climbed all these ladders. I'm in control. I run this. But then my body betrays me and I lose my child. Like that's rough. I did a little bit of research. So I would like to
come on, journalist.
Just put this out here, because I think this is extremely important just to talk about. As of 2023, the maternal mortality rate for Black women in the United States stands at 50.3 deaths per 100,000 live births. Now, I know 50 out of 100,000 does not sound like a lot, but when you think about the fact that women have been having babies since the beginning of time, and then when you compare those rates to our white sisters, our Hispanic sisters, and our Asian sisters, it's crazy. So again, 50.3 deaths per 100,000 live births for Blacks. For whites, 14. So Black women, they die 3 times the rate of white women. 100%. Hispanic women, 12.4. Asian women, 10.7. Like I remember I got dragged on Facebook one time where I said, if I ever had children, I only want my kids to be taught by Black people. I have only ever had Black doctors and Black dentists. That's all. I've only ever had that. Until I moved to New York, and then I had to get an Indian doctor. And it is not because I feel like every single white doctor is racist. It's not that I feel that way, but I do understand what whiteness is in America. Right. And I can understand how whiteness can be intertwined in how you see me and how you view the pain that I can have. So as a man, there's a privilege in me being a man, that when I say, dog, my pain is a 10, yeah, they're going to listen to me before they listen to my Black sister. when they see a black girl complaining about pain and she's pregnant, that's how they die. That's how they have all these miscarriages and pass away, because they believe that inherently we are stronger than what we actually are, that our bodies can be put through much more than they actually can. It's mind-blowing. It's scary.
It's actually really sick. And it's crazy that thank you for bringing up that article, because it's not talked about enough in our culture and honestly world culture and in medicine. It's actually pretty sick. And it doesn't matter on what age group too, which is really sad. It's actually covering women from 18 to like 45 or something like that. It's wild.
You're right. Because I can understand how the age thing could be a point to bring up, simply because someone that gets pregnant at 18 versus someone that gets pregnant at 35, the 35-year-old should, keyword should, be able to advocate for themselves much better than an 18-year-old should be able to. So you're correct, Danielle, that from 18 to 35, it doesn't matter how old you are. And then there's another key factor, socioeconomic. We got Beyonce and Serena Williams talking about how the doctors didn't listen to them. How Serena Williams almost died on the operating table. Serena Williams, who is a multi-millionaire. Someone that if she had, God forbid, had she died on that table giving birth, that doctor would have never worked a day in his life ever again. Never. And he still didn't listen to her. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, man. Like that is scary. It's one of
the most untalked about things actually to date.
100%. Do you know how many? All right, yeah, because that's going to send me somewhere. So then we get a montage of everyone getting themselves together for Dorit's lovely soiree that we are about to head into. Sutton is getting her hair and makeup done. She is basically like, she's not really feeling it. Erica gets on FaceTime with Kyle. Again, production, do better with your cutting certain things out. Because when she got on FaceTime with Kyle, and the first thing she said out her mouth was, I really want you to be able to connect with Bose. And I'm like, well, that was random. But then it hit me, and I was like, oh, Bose did say that about Kyle being cold.
I actually forgot about that, too.
I did, too.
I was like, what the hell is she talking about? And then I was like, oh, they were all at the limoncello party with Cass.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that threw me off. So I was like, all right. Well, there's the reference. So, first of all, I think this is probably the first time we really got to see Dorit's house, like, as a whole, like, from a full step back angle. I feel like it's always been at a dinner table or in the kitchen or in the backyard. And I feel like we really got to see it with all the patio doors open. Oh, what a phenomenal floor plan.
Yeah.
And I love walls. And I love that house. And there ain't no walls in there, honey.
Well, it's in foreclosure now, so.
There's another creator on here that was dragging Dorit about her money problems, and I thought that was insane. Not you. I mean, I'm not talking about you, Danielle, and I don't feel like you're doing this.
No, I wasn't dragging.
But no, I don't feel like you're doing that. But it just reminded me of this other creator, and she was like, the way she was like dragging, it's like, well, but we also know why her house is in foreclosure. She got a petty ass due right now.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, when it comes to their money stuff, Camille brought this up years ago. That their money wasn't.
Years ago that the money was funny. She did say that. Which he only had one client, Boy George.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That is fair. But Dorit gets in her confessional and says this is the first party she's hosting since PK and her have separated. I just find it very funny that you didn't want to come to this party and you the first person that shows up.
Now, you know what? First of all, and then started literally, my notes start as Sutton started at the door. First of all, you not only have you been to that woman's house before, the fact that you wanted to be greeted, and it's not like this is a strange house. No, this is a house that you've known a couple, even though you guys are not coochie crunch friends, as you're saying, you've been in that lady's house before. For you to be greeted is beyond. She doesn't have an Avi, so who's going to greet her? Who's going to greet you? Phoenix? He's in the pool.
Well, she said if you didn't have an Ivy, you could at least Roach could have you know.
I hate to agree with Sutton, but I do feel like somebody should greet you at their house.
I agree.
Like
I do agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm actually gagged.
Yeah,
I'm actually gagged that you don't agree with that, Danielle.
Well, you know how my house is. It really is like a slash.
It's
Hey
a
Arnold.
revolving door.
It literally is like a Hey Arnold house, but like a fraternity. It's but a safe haven, not as crazy. But in a sense, there's always someone coming in and out. I ain't got time to be like Jeffrey at the damn door.
Jared, I went to her house for the first time years ago, and I went to go knock on the door, and this man that I've never seen before opens the door. I don't know why I thought I was at a Upper East Side high rise. He opened the door. I said, "Danielle Grace, please." He looked at me like, "Her house right there." Like, I don't even know why because it was just the way he opened the door. I was like, well, is he the doorman? Like, I didn't know what was going on. But yes, you should be greeting people at your home.
Yeah, and see, I had a very recent experience that was the exact opposite, because I got invited to someone's birthday party that they were hosting with someone else. I went there with my bottle with Desmond, rang the doorbell nicely. "Hello, how are you?" They looked us up and down and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, who are you with?" And from that point on, like, I wanted to leave because I didn't even feel welcome from the get-go.
You should have left. And I would have texted, and I would have you got to be a bad bitch. You don't take the bottle. You leave the bottle, give this to the host, and then you send a nasty text message to the host. Not dragging the host, because it wasn't the host. Dragging the people that was greeting the door.
Yeah.
I felt very uncomfortable, but because I'm a great guest and I did enjoy you, I left my bottle there, but this is why my attendance is still not there. Oh, yuck.
Yeah, no, I'm pissed.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And so nobody greets her. She's upset. But also, too, on the flip side of Sutton, there's people here, but I don't know them. So I'm just going to sit here for 39 minutes and not say anything to anyone. Meanwhile, let's be real. If it's us in our world, yeah, we can get away with just sitting in the corner in a big ass house like that. No one's going to notice us. Bitch, you got a whole fucking camera crew. Just point a camera at you and you just gonna sit there. You're doing a lot right now.
That's what I'm saying. She came in very negative. Kyle, who was the first guest, had even pumped in. She had nitpicked on every little thing. Like, ooh, I never seen this. She was talking about everything down to the damn drinks. Damn.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. So then Kyle arrives, who I must say, Kyle looks so good. She did give lipstick butch, but the lipstick's there.
No, yeah.
She was giving feminine.
I thought she looked great. I just didn't understand why she was so insistent on putting on the button-down shirt.
Am I allowed to drag her, Jared?
Yep.
In this moment?
As soon as she walked in, I was like, oh, she looks so cute. And then as soon as she was just forcing herself to put that button down, I said, oh, my girl's gonna drag her tomorrow.
Generous.
No, it's not that. How can I say
drag
this?
her, Monique.
All right, so we all have these people in our lives where they gotta find a way to make it about them. You walked in looking like a 10, Kyle. You look great. You looked phenomenal for a July 4th event. First of all, you had very similar blues, but they were different fabrics. You looked phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I feel when you tell somebody like, oh my God, I just feel subconscious. I just feel fat. First of all, you're in a house with a whole bunch of kids and this is a July 4th event. Let's be very clear, Kyle. You just wanted someone to give you a little bit more attention or like to bring their attention to you. Say, no, you look great, because let's not forget, Sutton did not tell Kyle she looked great. The first thing Sutton did was, come on, still waiting. You know, she didn't even really greet. Did she greet Kyle and say Kyle looked great? I don't remember her saying that.
No, I think she was just, yeah.
She
like, just come in. Exactly. So Kyle arrives and she sees all the photos with PK and Dorit at the front table. Call me crazy, but if the kids need normalcy, why would she take the photos down? Why would she change that table? If anything, she could take the photo down in the bedroom, but not the one at the front door.
I think there's ways you could do it. Like if it was me, I would just take the photos, replace them, and do like either a full family or just a photo of me and the kids, or even just the kids. And I'm just updating the photos. I thought it was weird. I agree with Kyle.
Same. So I thought it was weird. And you know why I thought it was weird? It was the setup like it was shrine-like.
Exactly.
That's why. It was the way that if you walk into a person's home, right? And they have a center table, maybe they have a grand foyer where they have a center table. The way the pictures were lined up as if they should have been on a mantle somewhere, not the way they were like structured on the table itself. That's why I thought it was weird. I was like, no one, as a person who has a full family of 4, my pictures aren't structured like that. I mean, I don't have a grand foyer either to put a table in. But what I'm saying
don't leave that part out.
I definitely ain't got that. Now, I ain't got that. I ain't got that. I ain't got, right. I ain't got that. But what I do, and that's to be fair. So like I said, it was the way the setup was right in the front of the house. Like, you've never seen pictures, as many mansions as we've seen, many franchises, you've never seen pictures quite laid out like that. It was very strategic, and I thought it was planted. I didn't believe it.
I'm going to have to go back and watch the episode where they're wearing an all black and they go to that dinner for homeless, not toothless, the first time. And I'm going to see if those pictures are there in the front. I need to go back and see if they're there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Remember, we're going to talk about that in the next episode if they're there.
The only thing is, I don't remember if that event was at the house. It might have been, though. I can't remember.
No, when Kathy was like, I work with the homeless too. That was at a rooftop.
Yeah.
Like the dinner party was at, dinner party was at,
right.
remember, because the dentist was looking like, why are they yelling at the table?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, when they were in all black. And then Kyle says like, hey, I still got pictures of Mo and me, but this is like on a whole nother level. I would just have to disagree with you guys just in terms of like, the children in the same way that, because people could be like, well, the children need to know that you guys are getting a divorce. And so having the photos up could confuse them. But I also think just completely wiping away the love that you guys have from each other, that your children were able to experience for so long, to just kind of like throw it away or like erase it in that way. I think they recognize that too, and could end up having some resentment towards you. Like, you just made it seem like y'all weren't married ever. But
I agree to disagree. I agree to disagree with you. The only thing I will say is just the children in general knowing about divorce. Let us like never forget that her children are actually extremely young. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, they do live in Hollywood. They live in Beverly Hills. But let's be real. Her kids are like 3rd grade. No one is even in middle school. So she's not having a serious conversation about mommy and daddy being separated and divorced. PK is used to traveling. So in their eyes, daddy is traveling for work. There's no room for a conversation with a child who's 8 years old about divorce. I'm so sorry.
Not true. I feel like I have to disagree. And that is the problem with us as black folks. And maybe this may be just a privilege of mine, but I've always been well aware of what the fuck what is going on around in my life or around me. I have memories from kindergarten.
Right. No, that's
and then let's not also forget my boy Phoenix walked up to her and asked her, like, Mom, wait, did you post something on Instagram?
I thought his name was Jagger.
Oh Lord, Phoenix, you're right, Jagger. Sorry, Phoenix is the daughter. I'm sorry, Jagger. My po Jagger. Sorry, baby.
Sorry, Jagger.
You know I love me some Jagger now. Love me some Jagger.
Love Jaggy.
But he brought that up to her, and then let's remember, 3rd grade is completely different now from what our 3rd grade was. We weren't going to school with tablets and phones where we could look up whatever we needed to look up.
But I just think
so it's like a different world.
But staying in a child's place, yes, they can be exposed to things. My kids are in middle school and high school, right? But there are still certain things that we don't personally expose them to, whether they understand the significance of something or not. It's a way. I guess it's just the way that you have conversation with your kids. And parenting is one of those things that you just can't. You can agree to disagree all day long. It's parenting.
Yeah, I agree. And so Dorit finally comes down and she greets both of them. But of course, because Sutton is in such a bad mood, she does not get up to walk over to the host. But I don't know if y'all caught this, but as Kyle is pulling focus to the photos, Sutton probably has her own camera over here. And she's like, well, I guess I'll just sit over here. But they didn't caption it, and it wasn't the main mic for us to hear Sutton saying that. And it's like, well, but Sutton, you stayed sitting down. You could have walked over, because she said, hey, guys. She didn't just say, hey, Kyle, when she was walking down the steps. It's like you're looking for a problem, Sutton. And then, of course, they have this awkward encounter about this Kelly bag.
That's what
Dorit was serious about the bag.
Yeah. This is when I felt like Dorit started to do the most.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I get where she was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she could have done it in a way to make it less awkward. And I also feel like she was starting off too strongly with expecting Sutton to get what she was getting at or wanted to immediately address the situation. Like, nobody had a drink. They were only two there. I just think Dorit came in a little hot. And I don't know if she was intending to. It didn't seem like she was. But
she wasn't, yeah.
It was very obvious that she had a bone to pick with Sutton, which is completely fair. But at the same time, on the opposite
very
end,
fair, yeah.
Sutton is a guest in your home at this point. Like, give the lady 5 minutes or something before you start laying into her.
Okay, Reba, you and your Southern Belle. I've been watching Humble Brag with Cynthia and Crystal.
I love
and
that.
The conversation has been, a lot of the conversation has been about Dorit and how they felt like when they met Dorit, she wasn't the warmest or she doesn't make friends easily.
No.
And how everyone is so confused by the Bose and Dorit dynamic because everyone outside of Bose has the same opinion about Dorit. And what I am actually thinking, piggybacking off of what Jared just said, is that Bose and Dorit actually do have a very special connection. What we see with Dorit and Bose, how Dorit shows up in that relationship, I think that's the real Dorit.
Oh, 100%.
Everything that we have seen outside of that relationship is Dorit feeling like she has to play a game. And I think because her and Bose are like the singular experience that everybody can see. So if everybody else is having this one experience, and then Bose only gets this singular experience, then of course everyone's going to say that's fake. When in actuality, if you watch the after show, it's real. Like it's real. They really do love each other. They really do like each other as friends. But yeah, so then Garcelle arrives. Garcelle actually looked cute with her little top and red pants. But she arrives and almost falls down. And I know Dorit was like, child, PK ain't paying his mortgage and he damn sure ain't paying his homeowners. He definitely ain't doing his homeowner insurance, so please don't fall down because I don't know if we got the money to pay for your doctor's bills, child. But they move over to the little cabana or whatever, and Garcelle asks the question, Sutton, what are you drinking? Oh, does it have alcohol in it? Call me crazy. I didn't feel like Dorit was coming at her crazy when she made that joke.
It wasn't. And then Garcelle circled back and was like, oh, her shit was sarcastic. That's how I felt.
I thought, yes. And Garcelle laughed, by the way. Did you catch that? Garcelle laughed when Dorit did it, and she scoffed. She was like, ooh, when Sutton called her a bitch.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, but when it came down to it, she was on Sutton's side, but she couldn't hide those emotions of what she really felt like. Sutton, you're wrong here.
Yeah.
And then even when she went over to, when they was trying to get her to stay in the beginning, I'm jumping ahead, but remember she even said, like, she was joking. You know, Dorit's not good at jokes.
Yeah. No, her whole reaction just goes back to what you both mentioned earlier with her whole energy coming into the house. Sutton was looking for a problem, and all it took is one little moment of shade from Dorit for Sutton to start acting like Sutton does.
Mm-hmm. And I even just to shoot Sutton a little bit of bail, just a tiny bit of bail. Even when she said, Dorit, don't be a bitch. Has she not been so shitty to Dorit this whole season? I think Dorit probably could have, like, say, "Oh, girl, come on, it's just a joke." You know, it would have been moved. You know, would have been able to move on.
Yeah.
But you've done so much this season, Sutton. In any other time, that wouldn't have not been that inappropriate for her to say, "Don't be such a bitch." Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Sutton like a little bit of grace.
Exactly. It's just a little bit.
Well, I have one more thing that I thought about, and I don't want to give this to her, but y'all say I'm Cynthia Daly, so I'm just gonna look at it from I am.
By the way, how do you feel about that?
I love
because you're not. That's right. Because you're not Cynthia. You're not Cynthia in real life, but here you're Cynthia.
No, because here I am definitely like a lot of times the voice of reason unintentionally, but
you tried it.
Yeah. Well, which leads me to my next point. This is the only thing I'm gonna give Sutton is that considering that just come off of this trip and Sutton had these highly emotional moments, it's particularly going back to the house where her dad died and all of that. Maybe she was a little more sensitive and this alcohol comment triggered her a little more than normally would have considering her emotional state coming off
Fair point. Fair point.
I don't want to give her this, but I can't ignore that thought in my head.
You can give her grace in that way, but then also recognize it's not on Dorit to have to handle that.
No, especially so I think if she wasn't invited on the trip. So
exactly, because I don't know I don't know what y'all just went through.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so that's very fair.
Sorry, can you guys hear my loud ass son?
No.
As well.
Not like you can hear both of our loud ass sons.
Right, and so Dorit says, "Please don't call me a bee in my house." Sutton runs off as Kyle and Garcelle follow her. And it's so funny to me because as Garcelle is running off, she says, she's sensitive about the whole coffee thing. Again, being her spokesperson.
Which she's been doing all along. I'm sorry. I'm very upset.
No, you're
yeah, no, because you're right. Thank you, Erica, for pointing that out. Because I don't know why I didn't even think about that. And then Erica brought it up. And I'm like, yes, what the fuck?
And then when they played it back, I was like, thank you. Please play this back. Because
by the way,
go ahead, go. Sorry,
no, 100%.
She's been riding that lady's coattail since the beginning. Literally every single argument or fight or disgruntled situation that Sutton has been in, Garcelle's ass has been right there saying, well, this, and she's going through this, and she's this. No, how is Sutton the only one going through something here? That's not fair.
Right, and don't forget, Sutton has very small ankles, so that's why she's very aggressive. Like, it just be the craziest thing that she will say. But as Garcelle is running out, as Garcelle and Kyle are running out behind her, the thing that ate me up was Dorit in that confessional. So, go run out to Miss Crybaby, but make sure you had a drink for her when you go over there.
When she said to make sure you have a cocktail.
No, Garcelle did order a drink as they were running out.
She did.
Nasty ass watermelon one that Sutton was talking about.
Took me out. So then, they're at the door trying to get her to stay. And it's so funny. Oh, and by the way, that's what I was going to bring up. On the after show, Kyle said the same thing Erica said about Garcelle. Like, how you going to say that about Bose, but here you over here doing XYZ, which was still kind of hypocritical on. Right. But it's still low-key hypocritical on Kyle's part, not for Kyle defending people, but more so from Kyle wanting to always be defended. So then Bose shows up and says, "What's up, bitches?" and Garcelle's like, whoa, we do not need to hit our word. But the thing that warmed my heart about Bose, I don't know if y'all know this girl that she walked into the spot with, but she walked in there with Carrie Champion, honey. And Carrie Champion is the one and the two.
Oh, is that who that was in the green?
Yes, that was Carrie Champion, honey.
Because that was in my notes as who is the girl with Bose in the green.
Yeah, that was Carrie Champion, honey. Love Carrie Champion. Like, she's that girl. Carrie Champion's that girl. Yeah, I love her. And I guess Bose walks into the party and greets Dorit. Dorit's like, "Oh my God, thank God for some normalcy. I'm tired of all this mess or whatever." Maybe I'm a little too pessimistic, but I feel like when Bose arrived, that's when Sutton felt like, oh, I need to ratchet this up. I need to turn on the tears. Because all of a sudden, now Sutton's crying. "Oh my God, you put me through. Well, oh my God, I can't believe she said that after what she put me through." And it's like, who put you through? Because you're crying to someone that actually said, well, she didn't say it, but she definitely insinuated much more than anything Dorit said about you having a drinking problem. And that was Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was a little gagged about how you crying on Kyle's shoulder. Because even when I think back to last season when Dorit said, "I wouldn't be surprised if she puts a little so-and-so in her coffee."
Yeah.
in my head, maybe because I don't have a drinking problem, I would say, yeah, child, you know me, girl. I would, a joke about it. But, like, what is it? Douse don't protest too much. Like,
yeah,
girl. And then again, Kyle is sitting on her hands like she didn't say much worse. I don't know what was wrong with her. I don't know if she had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drinks. Like, Kyle said much harsher things about Sutton's drinking last season.
And I was going to say, they've all actually alluded to her alcohol use, and they even brought it up on the reunion as well.
But then Sutton herself walks around with cranberry juice in her purse to mix with her vodka. So you put shit on camera yourself.
Yes.
And also, too, how many drinks did we see Reba make last episode?
She was killing that Southern Comfort, wasn't she? I just say really quickly, because we always shout out Bose and just her looks in general. Again, this is not an entire Bose podcast, but can I just say, I am Bose and Bose is me. She was also wearing a black designer. You guys probably would not know her because you guys do not wear stilettos, but she was wearing Jessica Rich, who was a black-owned
Jessica Rich.
She's a black-owned luxury shoe designer who's
out of LA.
Who specializes in the Cinderella shoe. Yes. So she was actually wearing that shoe, which I was surprised that she was pumping around on that cobblestone, because those are not the comfiest shoes, but I love them. Just want to shout out that black designer.
And so Kyle says it's not lost to her that Sutton is running out after she just tried to hold her accountable. I'm always here for somebody bringing up hypocrisy, even though they're one of the biggest hypocrites, but whatever.
But no, she's right, because even the case may be, Sutton has done it way more times than Kyle has. So
I agree. Okay, girl. You got it. Dang, girl. Okay. But so then Kyle leaves everyone and walks over to Dorit and's like, hey, she's only going to stay maybe if you say something. And I was with Dorit 100%. No, if what should be happening is I'm kicking her out, not trying to get her to stay.
Yeah.
The fact that she said she was leaving 85 times and still was there. Girl, like, girl, goodbye. So then Erica arrives after Sutton has threatened to leave multiple times. And Erica comes in in good spirits, having a good old time. And basically when Erica's there, Bose comes over and tries to get them to come into the house. Now, in the way that Bose tried to get them to come into the house, I didn't understand the heat that she got. I didn't understand that. Bose was being proper in the way of saying, hey guys, can y'all just come into the house and have the conversation? Because the hostess is over here. And obviously, if all of y'all are over here, what is the hostess going to think? Y'all talking about her, right? Even though Bose didn't say all that. But I mean, that's essentially what Bose was trying to say. And then out of nowhere, Garcelle comes out and says, stop being Dorit's spokesperson.
I like that.
I was so annoyed.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Like that. And that's that. And what I will say is, as the resident chocolate chip girl on here, that's that nasty, wicked spirit that Black girls tend to have with each other. And it's actually really nasty, because we're actually more powerful together than we are apart. But when one girl is trying to be bigger dog than the next, it never works. And right there was a clear example of Garcelle thinking that Bose is taking too much limelight from her, and B, you're not going to be the spokesperson here. I'm the one who's normally like stops the girls from, getting into it or something like that. Semi peacemaker, if you want to call it, because you're not really a peacemaker. You like the drama too. I did not like that at all. It was very nasty. And that made me feel like that was some underlying shit that you had against Bose from the rip, because it was just way too high strung.
Well, yeah. But this is, it died for a couple episodes and it came right back. They have an issue with Bose and Dorit's friendship. Yeah. It came right back. And again,
and Garcelle
being the, no. I think it has a lot to do with Dorit. It has everything to do with Dorit. It has nothing to do with Bose.
They don't want Dorit to have They don't want Dorit to have
They don't. This was supposed to be Dorit's takedown season.
That's fair.
And unfortunately, Dorit is taking down everyone.
Yeah. And let alone she has a strong ally. It's not just anybody.
Right.
Yes. She has a strong ally, but then also not showing up weak herself.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's the gag. That's the issue with it. But basically Bose says, I'm not being her mouthpiece. I'm just thinking that you guys are being extremely rude in the way that you guys are operating. Like, if someone wants to leave in their 50s, let them go. I don't understand why y'all are begging for her to stay.
Also, you can go too.
Right. If y'all gonna keep doing all this,
why don't you take the trip with her? Make sure she get home safely.
Exactly. And then Kyle gets in her confessional and is like, I'm so irritated by how Bose is just defending her without having any prior knowledge. This whole prior knowledge thing that keeps happening. At the end of the day, if I see somebody get smacked in the face out of nowhere, even if they smacked you 2 weeks ago, what I see in front of me is you just got smacked in the face. And I think that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that I need to have a lot of knowledge to think that if you ain't smack her in the face when she smacked you 2 weeks ago, then I'm missing what they don't get. Kyle is just okay. Let me move on because I want this to be an easy episode for Jared on his first day back.
No, I was actually going to agree with you. So I was going to say one more thing. And on top of that, I don't need to wait for my turn to speak. If I have something to say, I can say
Hello?
That part when she said that about Bose, like, you don't even know. It's just like, oh my God, like, no matter what. And it's like, whenever someone says that, it's like, you're only taking up for them, but like every single thing they say. I don't even think that's a proper critique simply because you have always gotten that, Kyle. And if you would always want that, anybody would want that.
Right.
So to critique that, it's crazy to me. It's like, that's just so
yourself, weird. Weirdo.
Right.
Oh, God.
And so right before Sutton leaves, now this is when I get on my demon time, y'all. This has set me off with Sutton. This set me off so bad. I DM'd Dorit and said this is what she needs to say at the reunion. So
please don't feed her no lines.
I did. I'm sorry. So in Sutton's confessional before she leaves, she says, I'm sorry that your businesses failed and mine haven't. I'm sorry that I had a clean divorce. A clean divorce, and you're not having one.
Was it clean?
My response to her, because I could have sworn you had, exactly, Danielle, I could have sworn you had to hire forensics accountants to figure out all these baseball teams and all these houses. But, okay, go off. And what I messaged Dorit, when she said that, I said, Dorit, at this reunion, what you need to say to her is, I'm sorry your mother never told you weren't loved. That she didn't love you.
Oh, you pulling it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry your mother never said that. Because let's be clear, she's been coming at Dorit's jugular this whole season.
Yeah.
And you got the nerve to be crying about your mama not loving you? Thanks for the ammo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to eat you up. I'm going to make you cry. I'm sorry your racist ass mother never told you she loved you.
Now, if we see
that's probably why you show up the way you show up the way you do. Hate that for you. My mom tells me every day. My mom comes here and helps me with my kid. Has your mom ever helped you?
Ooh.
My mom would never say my kids are weird. My kid didn't speak for the first 7 years of his life. Girl. And she never said anything crazy like that. I would have ate that. When I tell y'all I jumped out of my seat when Sutton said that, I was just like, you disgusting. Yeah, I didn't like that. And it's less about, I'm not defending Dorit. I now sound like Bose. I'm not defending Dorit. I just don't like when people kick people when they're down. Yeah. Sutton, you own a store. In 2025, it's retail. Let's be very clear. That ain't no business, sweetie. I know you losing money. I know you losing money in that store. But you're so rich, you can just keep it going.
You can actually keep it afloat.
Like, yeah, ooh, Dorit, please open my DM. Because Jared, remember last year when she was going through all that stuff with Garcelle, she was reading remember she read it?
Yeah.
And I sent it to you. She had actually opened it up. But
yeah, but she wanted her side then, so she may not open no more from you.
Right.
Right. Yeah. She didn't block me though.
Not yet.
Look, she might have muted me. So then they all sit down and they let Dorit know that Sutton has left. And Garcelle, and they're all confused, like, oh, she actually did leave. And they were like, well, yeah, she didn't feel welcome. Why would she say? And then Dorit and Bose basically say, I mean, yeah, but she called her and then called me a B in her own house. Like, Bose is like, that's fighting words.
Yeah, very strange fruit.
And then Garcelle here she go again.
She pulled one of her moves.
Like,
oh, gutter snipe.
Like, I just don't understand. Like, Garcelle, stop.
Just stop. It's actually ugly and not becoming of you.
It is not. It's not a good look. It is not a good look. And so Garcelle tells Bose that she feels like that Bose is telling everyone how to deal with Dorit, even though Bose doesn't know everything. And again, Bose is coming from the standpoint of this woman is going through a divorce. I don't care what she been through. Because if she's that horrible to you, then you shouldn't be around her. If she's been that horrible to you, so if you're going to decide to still be around this woman,
yeah,
she's going through a divorce, give her some sympathy. That is all Bose is coming from. And they're making it seem like Bose is just this jaded one. Bose has not said anything negative about the other women except for Kyle.
It wasn't negative. That was her opinion on how she thought she was being treated. She didn't say, oh, Kyle's a bitch. She said, I think that she's a little cold. She's standoffish. Now, where that's an insult is crazy. That I don't understand that. That was her opinion on how she felt directly towards her.
And how smart Bose was in that moment. She didn't say it to any of Kyle's friends.
She said to her
sister. Said it directly to her sister. Also on camera, but she said it directly to your sister to show, I'm not trying to be messy. I'm just letting y'all know what my experience has been with Kyle. Fun fact, I'm sorry, maybe y'all can remind me. But there was another black girl on this show that said the same thing about Kyle. Was it the same black girl that had the nerve to bring that up to try to throw Bose under the bus? Was that same black girl?
I believe so. She had a different color hair at the time. That's probably
maybe that's what's confusing me because I could have sworn Garcelle said the same thing about Kyle.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
If I'm not mistaken, Dorit had the cool fish and Kyle had the basic fish.
Hello.
I'm just real. It's just Garcelle. Don't be a hypocrite.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, it's too late at this point. It's too late.
Well, yeah. She's far on.
And so basically Bose just lets her know, like, hey dog, everybody is giving me some tea about their life except for you. And then Kyle does this. She's done this with every single person that's ever said that they felt like she wasn't close to. Well, that's crazy because I felt like we were great. Kyle, that's from your perspective. They're letting you know what their perspective is. Just like it's weird to me how she can't understand that. Oh, I thought we were great.
Yeah, and then the flashbacks to their moments was like all this shit about them talking about flowers.
Dog. The flashbacks are literally, and this is no shade to, I'm not even gonna give a specific name, but it's like when I go to DC, if it's not Charles, if it's not Desmond, if it's not you, if it's not like what they showed on that flashback is like the people that I only see in DC and never speak to after that until I come back to DC.
Right.
That is the level of interaction that they had in those flashbacks. Yeah. So Kyle saying, and again, how he said, Kyle says, I've been the most open person on the show. You've been open about everybody else's business.
Fair.
You have yet to be open. I've shared that I'm going through TMZ said you're going through a divorce. You're not open about that.
No.
Kyle is now defending herself and says that she thinks Bose is biased to her and that Bose is hard on her. And she gives the example at the Viper Room when she says you need to put your phone down and like block him and yada, yada, yada. And she's like, and you don't even know PK. And that's when Dorit jumps in and is like, well, why would she need to know PK to get? And again, what was so beautiful about this is that Dorit is speaking the same language as Bose. Why does she need to know all of these people? She just needs to know the situation to know that it's wrong. She doesn't need to know all these people. That was just, I said, they just wanted to. Kyle's just looking stupid, but Kyle was being funny when she was like, oh, yup, yup. That was taking me out. Her calling her Judge Judy.
Now that was, now she did.
It was like, all right.
Kyle, yeah.
And then of course, Dorit and her get into it. I would love to be able to get into it with someone and then take them upstairs in my bedroom and have a deep conversation after.
I've never been be that mature, but yeah.
I ain't never been that girl. I gotta simmer down, Cheryl. Like, I'm not that girl.
It depends on how much tequila I've had.
Not enough in this world.
If you have too much tequila, are you able to do it? Or
if I have too much tequila, I can't do it.
I was about to say, because
yeah, if I'm in the middle, then I can pull myself back, and it depends on who it is too. That's the biggest part.
Yeah, who it is the thing. Because it's more so like, for me, depending on who it is depending on whether or not I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of people being spokespersons, when Dorit was telling Kyle, why do you have to scream? Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? You got Garcelle. Here come Garcelle bucking up her chest, saying she's not screaming. Okay, spokesperson.
Exactly.
Like, just anytime you against Dorit, she always gonna be on that side. Whoever against Dorit, it's just it's disgusting.
You don't like that?
You really don't. And so then once they calm down or whatever, and they're gonna go upstairs. And then the funniest part to me was like when Kathy jumped in, like, you guys love each other, and Bose was like, don't say nothing because you might get your head chopped off. That took me out. And then we fast forward to them being upstairs, having a heart-to-heart about where their divorce stands. I don't really feel like we learned anything new there. I think they learned new things about each other.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been speaking to each other. It's just, for me, it's really sad because they could really be leaning on each other, and instead they're at odds.
Right.
It really sucks.
I think honestly, when you get to a certain point and digs have been dug, or however you should say it, but when you've just gone so low, can you really go back?
I think they are putting in the effort, though. Just the fact that they both simmered down in the argument surprised me, because I was like, oh, we gonna kick up Kyle versus Dorit again.
More on Kyle's side, I was shocked by.
Yeah. But I did think that they both the fact that they did both simmer down and then they did go up and have that conversation shows some, who y'all say genuineness, or
genuinely?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I guess they do want to work it out, because they really did make an attempt to pull it back, and then led to them actually having an open conversation, which it seemed like they had not had in a very long time.
So now we are going to move on to one of our favorite segments of our episode, and that is...
Everybody just calm down.
Girl, just calm down. So for me, this episode, it was very hard to choose between these two, who I felt like it needs to calm down. And honestly, until I say it right now, I really don't know who I'm going to choose.
I can't believe you have two. I feel like it's
an
obvious one. Okay.
No, I have two. And I'm going to have to say, because I have said this person before, I can't go with this person. I'm going to have to say it's Garcelle.
Yeah.
I was going to say Sutton, because I had said something before, but it got to be Garcelle.
Yeah.
I did not like Garcelle in this episode. I agree with you, Jared. I feel like she was throwing shade at Sutton. And I feel like she teetered. And then when Dorit kind of like piggyback off of that joke, she like threw the rock and hit her hand. A little producing. And I didn't like that. And then coming at Bose like that, not a fan.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely Sutton. I'm starting to feel like I say Sutton I said RHOBH one week. Okay, no. So yeah, Sutton. I feel like for obvious reasons, I won't even the most.
Yeah. That's crazy. If I could pick two, it would actually be Sutton and Garcelle, but I'm only going through Garcelle because I don't like nasty catty energy. And I feel like she's picking a fight with Bose. It's more also from Bose. That's actually why she's getting it from me. Just calm down, Garcelle. I don't like that. We are actually stronger together. Don't do that.
I agree. Did y'all watch the after show?
No,
I watched the link you sent. Was that the full show?
Yeah. Did you see how Sutton called her? It almost felt like Bose was angry.
Yeah.
I looked at Garcelle. Garcelle clocked it, though. I saw that look on her face. She clocked it. She ain't gonna say nothing? Okay. All right. Well, anywho, guys, that's a wrap on this episode of Everybody Just Calm Down, the podcast. If you love this conversation, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and follow us on social media. We'll be back next time with more takes, more mess, and hopefully a little more calm. Until then, stay unbothered. Peace.